Hi everybody, I know how much you guys hate fractions and decimals when it comes for solving for x, so I want to make sure that I give you some strategies that will help you solve for x when you have fractions and decimals and save you a lot of time. Okay, so let's look at these several problems. We'll start with fraction busting. It's called fraction busting because what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our fraction. Okay, how do I get rid of my fraction here? I have 2/3 x equals 30, and in order to get rid of my fraction, what I want to do is multiply by the denominator. And whatever I do on one side, of course, I have to do on the other side, just like always. Make your teeter-totter. So this becomes 3 times 2x over 3 and 30 times 3. Now, remember, 3 is actually the fraction 3 over 1, which makes it easy to multiply your fraction. 3 times 2x becomes 6x, and 1 times 3 becomes 3, equals 3 times 3, which is 90. And now all I have to do is reduce. 6 divided by 3 is 2x equals 90. And 2 is attached to the x through multiplication, so you're going to divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 45. Boom. Just that easy. One of the things that I want you to notice right here is what survives. We started with 2x over 30, and we multiplied by 3. 3 times 2x divided by 3 ends up being 2x. So there's a pattern here that we should be recognizing. Now, what happens when you have two fractions with different denominators? You want to multiply by a common denominator. What's a common denominator for 3 and 2? It is 6. Multiply 6 by this side, multiply this side by 6. Make your teeter-totter. This becomes 6x over 3 plus 6x over 2 equals 30. And now I reduce my fraction. 6 divided by 3 is 2x plus 6 divided by 2 is 3x equals 30. And then I can combine my like terms. But before I do that, I want you to notice what survived. I have 2x and 3x. And you'll notice that these reflect the denominators of the opposite fraction. So when multiplying by the common denominator of the both, the opposite denominator becomes attached to the x. So now you have 5x equals 30, divide by 5, divide by 5, and x equals 6, just like that. Now, what do you do when you have decimals? When you have decimals, it can be messy. Or we remember that when we multiply any number, 4.26 times 10, we move the decimal 1 point to the right for every 0. And if I multiply 4.26 times 100, it moves the decimal 2 points. So that's exactly what we're going to do with this decimal problem. We need to make a whole number out of 0.212. I need to move it 2 points, so I'm going to multiply by a power of 10 with 2 zeros, 100. And if I multiply that side by 100, I have to multiply the other side by 100. Now I have 12x equals 100. 12 is attached to the x by multiplication, so I divide by 12, divide by 12, and x equals 8.33 repeating. Now what happens if it's more than 100? Well, let's see. We do the same thing. How many decimal places do we want to move it? 3 decimal places. Multiply by 1,000. You multiply by 1,000 on one side. You have to multiply by 1,000 on the other side. This becomes 2x equals 5,000. The 2 is married to the x through multiplication. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. X equals 2,500. Oh, there it is. That's how you solve for x. Now, what if you have 3 fractions? Multiply by the common denominator. What's the common denominator for 9 and 2? 18. That also is a common denominator for the third one. So that's going to help you solve that problem right there. Okay, good luck. Ask questions if you need more help.